So, for those of you guys who have been following along, I've been holding on to a little secret. I actually don't even remember if I've ever shared what's going on. And to those of you guys who are new here, hi, welcome. So, let me catch you guys up. So, it all started when I gave birth to my son Axel, the cutest little guy in the whole world. Everything was great, amazing, but he wasn't sleeping all that well. Every night at 4 a.m., he would finally go to sleep after hours and hours of crying and me going absolutely out of my mind. But I mean, besides the sleeping problem, he was a very happy baby when he was awake and he was well rested. But then we hit the 3 month mark. Boy, oh boy. I took him out for a walk 3 days ago, and he was just almost unrecognizable because he was just screaming and screaming and screaming. There was nothing I could do. I was just holding him and pushing the stroller at the same time. I was holding him with one hand and then pushing the stroller. It was so bad that people came up to me and were like, oh, he's a bit fussy, or he's not too happy, and stuff like that. And I was just like, yeah, no, he's not too happy. He was actually fucking livid. I don't know why. That happens sometimes when we're out in public and it's really annoying. There's nothing I can do. The only thing that will make him stop crying is going home, and he will not stop crying before we are in the apartment. Yesterday I had a plan to meet up with a friend. It was really simple, nothing big, and I just couldn't get him out the door. He was just screaming every time I put him in the stroller. I don't know why he doesn't like being in the stroller. He used to love his stroller. Now he just hates it. That's really annoying. Then I had to just text her we weren't gonna come after all because he was just so fussy. Later that same day, I just wanted to go for a quick walk, like 5-minute walk. I just wanted to get outside and just get some fresh air, and I just could not get him out the door. I would put him in the stroller, we would go outside, and within the first minute of us being outside, he would just start screaming and screaming. It breaks my heart when he's that upset. So we just ended up going home, and he calmed down after we came home, but it's just insane. Like, I don't feel I can go more than a mile away from where we live because I need to just be able to just run home when he gets like that. And it's really taking a toll on me. So when I went outside just to take a quick 5-minute walk and he wouldn't go, I just went inside of the apartment. I handed him over to his dad, and I just needed some time for myself. I just looked out the window and I almost started crying because it's just so hard not being able to leave the apartment, and I just feel like I'm stuck in here every hour of the day. Now, this was such a long time ago, but I still remember how bad my mental health was in that stage of motherhood. I became a mom relatively young when I was 23. I was always very social even though I had a baby, but when he hit that 3 month mark, I couldn't bring him out anywhere. Actually, being outside and being around other people was the one thing that really kept me sane during my maternity leave. But when we were out and Axel got tired, he would not sleep, and I mean would not sleep. Instead, he would scream and scream and scream. He was unconsolable for hours on end until we finally came home again, and then he would stop and finally fall asleep. And this would happen every single time we went out and he would need a nap. And then keep in mind, he was 3 months old, so he would nap like a trillion times a day. So if I timed it just right, I could maybe be out for like half an hour, and then he would get tired and all hell would break loose. So this led me to stop leaving the house, just isolating myself, staying at home every single day. I was neglecting my friendships and I was neglecting my mental health. I was constantly feeling stuck and isolated, and I was really at the edge of developing a severe depression. When I tell you I have prepared for every single step of motherhood, I prepared for the pregnancy, the birth, the postpartum period, the parenting, everything. I read all you could ever find about parenting, motherhood, whatever. Nothing could have prepared me for the loneliness that I felt in the early stages of motherhood. This went on for about 3 months, and I know 3 months doesn't sound like a long time, but let me tell you, in those 3 months, I completely fell apart.
Um, I don't really cry that much. I don't really cry basically at all after becoming a mother, but I don't know, I think today just kind of broke me a little because yeah, I don't know. I'm showing a lot of the good sides of being a mom and I trying to romanticize it all that I can. He does not like being out in public and I don't know why it started. I don't know when it started, but it just started at some point when he started getting more aware of his surroundings. He has been so upset whenever I bring him out and it doesn't really matter to where.
For those 3 months, I would wake up every day and constantly beg for it getting better and just hoping that the period would pass. And of course it did, but it got me desperately looking for a solution. I thought to myself, there's no way that I was the only one experiencing this. And I know now that I'm definitely not the only one experiencing this. I would constantly hear stories about other parents who had troubles with ear infections, colicky babies, 10-minute naps, reflux, like the list is endless. So when I found the solution, I thought to myself, well, this needs to be available for everybody. I truly believe that every parent could benefit from this. And if nothing else, at least I want to have it available for myself before I have my next baby. We live in a society where parents are busier than ever, and so many parents end up feeling alone in parenthood. If I can contribute just even a little bit to minimizing the risk of developing a postpartum reaction or depression, or just even prevent the lonely stages in parenthood, I will work my butt off to do it. So that's what I did. Unfortunately, none of the people that I reached out to have replied yet, so I am just still waiting. It's so frustrating because I just want to get going, and I do have a good friend that is studying to be an engineer, and I texted him, but I can't really tell him about the idea yet because I'm still bound by the NDA that I signed, so I can't really tell anybody what I'm envisioning, and it's so frustrating because I really just want to get going. I really want to get the funding so I can just get started. I'm thinking if I don't get a reply from the original production company that I wrote to by tomorrow, maybe at 4, I am gonna follow up on my email just so I can kind of get going, because I can't really pitch the idea to any other production companies or investors while I'm still bound by that NDA, so I kind of just need to get closure on that end. Of course, I'm still hoping that they're willing to collaborate, but I don't know. They also expressed that they were really busy right now, so which I completely respect, but I also just kind of want to get going, so I think I'm gonna follow up with an email if they haven't reached back to me yet. I think we'll go from there. I don't really think there's too much else I can do right now. I've been working on the designs, I've been working on my marketing strategy, I've been working on kind of like a game plan for what I'm gonna do. I've been working at context. I've been working on emailing possible producers. I've been emailing investors, and there's not really much I can do right now. The next 9 months I spent on designing, developing, brainstorming, contacting possible business partners, mentors, investors, engineers, spending so much money out of my own pocket just to come a little bit closer to making this project come to life. And I can't exactly tell you what the project is yet, but that will come soon, I promise. In the meantime, I am working tirelessly on getting far enough on my own so I can finally apply for patents and actually develop the very first prototype. It is such a complicated and overwhelming project, but it's not impossible, and that is what gives me hope. It's also more expensive than I could have ever imagined, which is why the project isn't getting any further without some kind of investment. So right now I am on the hunt for the right business partner, the right investor to help me get further along in this process. Actually, as of right now, I just talked to my business partner, Nana, who has been alongside me for the past maybe, I don't know, 6 months maybe. And we just created the first draft to applying for some funding, which is very exciting. Oh my god. This is nerve-wracking. We just applied for some funding and it's like the first step that we were told by our mentor that we had to do. It's really nice to finally have that done. They open up for applications on August 5th. Right now it is July 26th, in a week or so. And I just sent our application off to our mentor. He is gonna read it through. Hopefully he thinks it's great. If he doesn't, we'll have to somehow correct it, adjust it. My business partner, Nana, is going on vacation the 29th on Tuesday, and we have to get everything settled before she goes away. I need to have some documents from her and as well, and it would just be really nice if we could actually get all of this done with before she leaves, because she won't have her computer with her. The mentor that we've been talking with is on vacation right now. He's coming back on the 28th, so if he doesn't reply on the 28th, we're kind of in a pickle, because yeah, then we only have half a day to fix it. But I guess I'll just take over at that point and Nana can just go on vacation and we'll figure it out. But it's just very stressful, and but also very exciting to finally apply for this. We will only get the result back in, I think, the end of September, which is far away from now. I guess the other update is that we have a business meeting scheduled for the end of August. So when Nana comes back from her vacation, we're gonna set that up with a very important potential business partner, and also would be a great partner to work with even if they don't invest. So that business meeting just has to go well, and I think it's really nice that we are finally getting somewhere. I have been in so many calls. I feel like I've made so many pitches, and it's just very discouraging to constantly get told that your idea is great, but it's still too early to invest in you when you're only in that early stage of your journey. I mean, that is true, and I get why they say that, but how are we gonna get further without the funding? So right now we're just like constantly going back and forth, talking to potential investors. They tell us to get even further along, so I spend more money on getting further along, and then we come back to them and show them what we have developed, how far we've gotten, and they're still like, oh yeah, it's great, looks great, we're interested, but it's still too early. So right now we've spent a lot of money, we've spent so much time, yeah, but I guess this is just normal for like the journey. I'm just trying to be very honest with you guys. It's not all fun and games, and it is so expensive, like crazy expensive, but at least we are getting somewhere, right? Let's cross our fingers for that one. But you might think, Isabella, why are you making this video if you can't even tell us what the project is? And you don't know if you'll get the funding to get any further? Well, I'll tell you. I truly believe so much in this project that I will get there one way or another. But what I really wanted with this video was to show my part of the journey, because I wanted to show people what it's actually like to start something from absolute zero and build it up on your own. I love hearing other stories from successful entrepreneurs, but I feel like I could have really used someone to show me the actual behind the scenes and the journey of it all, the highs, the lows. And I thought to myself, maybe others wanted to see the same thing as well. So I thought I would share my journey with you. Right now, I'm very much in the thick of it, very much still figuring everything out. This is an area that you really have to seek out information on, especially in terms of funding. So if you out there have any advice for me, please let me know in the comments. Also, please let me know if there's anything that in particular you'd like to see about this whole journey. Then I'll make a video about it. I'll try to show more of it, whether that be how I managed to still have time for all of this while working full time and being a mom and still having my studies and like crazy stuff. Or whether it just be like more personal stuff or things I learn along the way. I mean, I will share all of that stuff with you probably automatically, but if there are any questions that you have, please just let me know and I'll try to accommodate your wishes. So, yeah, stay tuned. I'm so excited to share this part of my life with you. And yeah, I'm really excited to see how this all pans out. I am just hoping that we will very soon soon enough get some funding and actually get started on this project, because I feel like we've been on hold for a very long time right now and I've been paying a lot out of my pocket, so I just want to finally have enough funding to actually get the first prototype produced and yeah, actually get this thing on the market at some point. So yeah, stay tuned. I'm so excited to have you here.